Hi folks, this is the last video in this series taking you through the entire text of Macbeth right to the end of the play. And I'm just going to give you a quick bit of information on this idea of restoring order at the end of the play. So in the last video, I said at the end of a tragedy, it's really nice that the loose ends are tied up, order is restored, Macduff is successful in his revenge, Macbeth gets his punishment, Malcolm is king. So everything's sorted, isn't it? Except there's some hints at the end of Macbeth that actually order is not fully restored. There is chaos kind of echoing through this final scene. And lots of different directors show this in their productions in different ways. So one production that I saw in Stratford had Fleance come on at the end of the play with the sword in his hand, kind of looking at Malcolm. And we know that the prophecy about Fleance is that, Banquo's family are going to be a line of kings. The Patrick Stewart production, so Patrick Stewart plays Macbeth. I think Rupert Gould is the director, has the witches come on at the end of the play, and again that ends the play in a fairly ominous way. And basically any kind of modern production you watch of the text will have these kind of visual hints at the end of the play that suggest that actually things aren't quite finished. And as well as those visual hints, there are some suggestions in the text as well that maybe not all is as it seems. So the first thing I want to talk about is the use of the word hail in this final section. Now, of course, Macduff is saying, "Hail, King of Scotland, hail, King of Scotland, hail, King of Scotland." He's emphasising Malcolm's control over Scotland and the fact that the rightful heir to the throne is now going to be crowned king. Except "Hail, King of Scotland" is exactly what the witches said to Macbeth. So that's the first worrying thing. In another bonus video, we talked about how there's a little allusion to the Bible here as well, to Judas's betrayal of Jesus. So that's the second problem that we've got here. And the third problem is that there's 3 repetitions of the word hail. And every time we see the number 3 in the play, there's a sense of kind of the supernatural, of something malevolent going on in the background. We know there's 3 witches, there's 3 prophecies at the start of the play, and so on. The other kind of hint at something else going on is in Malcolm's use of the word planted. Now, this is a word that Duncan used back in Act 1, Scene 4. He talked about planting people and helping them grow. And who was it that he was going to plant? Well, it was Banquo, which was a good choice, but also Macbeth was going to be planted. So there's a suggestion, just a little hint here, that maybe Malcolm will repeat the mistakes of his father. Some other little issues that we have at the end of the play. Where is Fleance? As I said, in some productions, the director will bring Fleance in at the end just to remind us of his existence. But where is he? What is he doing? We know that he's going to be part of a line of kings. So how is that all going to work? That loose end has not been tied up. Donalbain is still in Ireland. Historically, Donalbain does at one point come back and he is briefly King of Scotland. So what's he up to and what's going on? And also, probably most importantly, the witches have not been defeated. So the real forces of evil in the play are still out there. And as I said, some directors bring them on again at the end of the play, so that we can see that this cycle of violence and manipulation might continue. Okay, so it's up to you whether you think that this ending is a restoration of order or not, whether you think it's a satisfying ending or whether it leaves you wanting more. But thank you very much for joining me in this video series, and I hope it's been helpful for you as you've been revising the play.